Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with another Act 7 beta rank up video. Now you guys, every time I post one of these crazy rank up videos with these, those unique characters, you always comment how much you enjoy them, and I have absolutely no problem making more of them for you guys. Unfortunately, this is the last one that I have in the backlog to upload, but as soon as we get a new beta, there's going to be a ton more, and there always will be. These are honestly my favorite videos to make, and I might even look into ranking up some unique champions on the live server as well, just because it's so much fun to mess around with them, and the resources, they just keep flowing in and in and in. Now, as you'll see in this rank up video, I was actually very impressed with this Doctor Strange at 6-star rank 2. It's honestly a night and day difference between rank 1 and rank 2 for this guy. There are a lot of champions like that. If you were to play with the Corvus Glaive at rank 4, 5-star rank 4, he's not going to look too impressive, but if you take Corvus up to rank 5, he's one of the best champions in the entire game. Now, is Doctor Strange one of the best champions in the entire game? Probably not, but he's a lot better than people are giving him credit for. His lifesteal at rank 2 is actually very, very good, okay? And his awakened ability is pretty alright? Now, if his awakened ability was up at like Sig 200, it'd be very nice. But I'm gonna pop an awakening gem into this bad boy, and unfortunately, we only can get him up to Sig 1. I could have got him to like Sig 30, but I didn't think of it at the time. I just popped the gem in him and went to town, alright? So we're gonna take a look here at the 4-star just to see what the awakened ability does at a decent Sig. This would be like Sig 80, so he automatically nullifies any buff that comes up on the opponent by a certain percentage. I believe it goes up to 85% at Sig 200, so it's pretty potent, alright? We're gonna pop in this awakening gem into Doctor Strange, and he's at Sig 1. So at Sig 1, it is like a 15% chance, I believe that said. Went by really fast. But like always, we're gonna jump into some Act 6 content, and we're gonna mess around with this bad boy. Alright, so we're going to dive right into some 6.2 content today. We're going to the 6.2.6 Mystic Gate, alright? Now, the main thing that I want to showcase here is just his absolutely incredible lifesteal, man. You're going to see that we're going to be like going into and out of these fights pretty much with a full yellow bar of our health, alright? So like, the way that Doctor Strange works is that he kind of works like Symbiote Supreme, or I guess Symbiote Supreme works like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has been around for much longer, but he has that armor up buff, and then he has the Fury buff, and the way they cycle is that every time you gain a bar of power, and you'll gain power the same way, you're pretty much going to be replacing that buff. And as you can see, we have that power gain buff there, and now watch the lifesteal. With one combo, we went up 10%. So if you want to run the Suicide Masteries while using Doctor Strange, he is a wonderful character for them, because what he does is he just completely gains all of that recoil damage right back instantly in one combo. So he's hitting like alright here, 35 hits in, and this Angela is already halfway dead. She also had a little bit of healing as well, so he's hitting okay. When he has the Fury, he definitely hits a little bit better, and the Silver Surfer synergy, that one will help him hit a little bit harder, but I couldn't bring that along for this path because you need 4 Mystic Champions on the team as 5 stars, but here, as you can see, we are tossing off that big special 2 there while we have the lifesteal buff up, and Angela's down to about 18% here, and we're 65 hits in, and we're pretty much at full health here. So if I wanted to, I could wait until I got that power gain buff, and I could just totally go for it and just get back to a full yellow bar, but at that point, it's almost unnecessary, and we can just go ahead and finish off the fight. So we're actually going to keep going on this path, and we're going to see how far we can get. We have a Gamora, a King Groot, and a Venom, alright? So up next, we're going to jump in against this Gamora here. And now remember, we are using these Suicide Masteries without Coagulate, so we're going to drop down about 11% health. So we should fall down to about 84% once the bleed goes away, and if we toss off any specials, we'll be at around 79%, but we could shoot right back up to 100 when that lifesteal buff comes around, okay? So the way that Doctor Strange's Special 2 works, okay, when he has that Fury buff up, it's going to have a 50% chance to inflict a weakness on the opponent. When the armor up is up, there's a 50% chance to apply an armor break that applies a pretty hefty armor break. And then while the power gain buff is up, well, there is a 50% chance to nullify one effect on the opponent, okay? Now, keep in mind, of course, we also have that instant nullify on the signature ability. If we were at SIG 200, it would be an 85% chance to instantly nullify any buff that procs. Now, there is a stun there at the end of the Special 2, because when you bring Black Widow Clairvoyant along with you, there is a 50% chance for there to be a stun from Doctor Strange's Special 2, okay? So from here, we're at 85% of our health. I'm more focused on our health than the opponent's health, to be honest, because once I started messing around with Doctor Strange, my favorite thing about him just so easily became the lifesteal. As you can see, he's also he's hitting pretty hard, man. Like, that was like, what, a 30k Special 2? If everything crits, it crits pretty nicely. Like, there's really not too much to complain about when it comes to the damage. That's one thing that really surprised me when I was messing around with him, was just the damage potential, because it's just a lot more than I ever imagined that would be possible. So here we are starting the fight with 85%. Once the bleed runs out, we should be down to about 75%, let's just say, and then we're going to try to get right back up all the way to 100, okay? Bait out the Special 1, go right in. Now see, if we were at a higher signature level, well, that regeneration buff probably would have just been instantly nullified, okay? And that's one thing that's very annoying on defense. As you can see, when we have a big Special 2, we have a big lifesteal as well. So we're basically back up to 100% health. We're actually at around 96%, but that's, like, you know, pretty much good enough here. We could just, you know, you could just go really slow with Doctor Strange if you just want to have that reliability, but also at the same time you can stack up armor breaks as well, and there's also a little stun there from the synergy, so you can go with a heavy attack. Yeah, man, like, honestly, I really was just a little surprised when I was playing around with him. Like, it's really, I know I keep repeating myself saying the lifesteal, but like the lifesteal, we were back up to a full yellow bar. Now, one thing about this Special 1, it's really weird. There's like a percentage chance that you're going to like get all of that power right back, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't see too much use in the Special 1 when you have such a nice Special 2. The Special 3, by the way, that puts a Fate Seal on the opponent, okay? So that's really nice to have as well. But here we're going to be ending this fight very close to a full yellow bar. Right here, we're back to 100%, and King Groot is down to about, give or take, 5%. Just got to bait out one more Special 2, or we could toss off our Special 2 if we want, and we are ending this fight with 100%. We are 3 fights in on this lane. Alright, now we're going to go up to the last fight on this lane, this Venom. We're going right back in with Doctor Strange, man. And as you can see, he's just reliable. That lifesteal is just reliable, dude. Like, it's really nice. It's really nice. So here, you know, obviously with Venom, we want to try and bait out that Special 1, but when I'm making these videos, I try to be, you know, I'm a little less cautious than I would be in any real content, so I'm just kind of nuking him down, and, you know, I'm probably going to push into a Special 2 instead of baiting out 100 specials, but, you know, if he does throw it, that's super great. Here we have our Power Steal buff. It probably would have been cool to toss off a Special 3 to get the Lifesteal. That probably would have been, I mean, to get the Face Seal, since there's so many buffs on Venom. Mystic Dispersion would have brought him like super high after the Special 3. That would have been pretty cool. But here, you know, we're just taking it slow against this guy. This is a 6.2, so the attack values aren't too high. Here he threw off that Special 2, and he did clip us a little bit, but now that's really actually kind of cool, because now we're going to get that lifesteal, and we're going to see the potential of that lifesteal and how much higher we can get. So we were pretty much about dead here, but we're jumping right back up to 33%. So that's not too bad, and clearly I didn't learn my lesson the first time, but it's okay, because we dexed all the way out of that Special 2 the second time there, and yeah, we're just kind of going balls to the walls here. We're not playing safe at all. We're not worrying about anything. We're just nuking them down. I mean, we're just messing around in beta. Here we have another one of the lifesteal buffs going up, and we're still up at 30%, up to 35%. Let's just push it a little bit higher. Let's just really throw all caution to the wind. We're up to 50%. Unfortunately, he didn't dash in for that Special 1, and boom, there is that Special 3 on Venom. but it's all good. Here we're going to jump into some 6.4 content, alright? We're going to use our Deadpool here as our Winter Soldier stand-in, and we're just going to, like always, pretend that this fight goes on for 2 times as long, just to see how long it would take against Winter Soldier, since I could not make it into ROL for the beta, okay? So after this, I also am going to test him out on the Gimme path, because I want to see how that lifesteal interacts with Gimme. So with Gimme, basically you're going to be doing all of your damage when you gain health back, when you regenerate, okay? And as we've seen already, he has a pretty hefty regeneration with that lifesteal. So, you know, against fights, like any normal fight, he's pretty much just like a normal Wolf champion, but he does have some decent damage. You know, I guess you could stack up like those armor breaks on the opponent, especially when you have the Fury up, but the thing is, like, my issue with like Doctor Strange and like Symbiote Supreme and like the new Sorcerer Supreme, my biggest issue with them is that like you have to wait to get what you want. So like, you know, you have to like wait for the buffs to cycle to like play the way you want to play. So that's why they're not normally my favorite champions to play. But the lifesteal right now, man, I know I keep saying it, but the lifesteal is just making up for everything for me, man. Like, one thing that's just really, really nice to have always is just a sustainable champion. Now, you know, looking back at this, man, like, there's definitely better ways to go about it when it comes to damage. Like, I should have been stacking up the armor breaks. I probably could have gotten this guy down by like now. Like, there's really absolutely no point in throwing off a special 2 when you have the power gain buff up against a champion with no buffs. But, you know, pretty much I was just like cycling through the special 2s when they came to me. The thing with like also like Doctor Strange and Symbiote Supreme and Sorcerer Supreme is that like when you get your power, if you don't use your special 2, well, you lose your special 2. So that's another thing I don't love about those champions, but it is what it is. It's not too much of a deal breaker for me, but it's just not champions that I use all the time. So here we're going to jump up to Gimme now, okay? And yeah, man, the first champion up is going to be Superior Iron Man. So I'll tell you right off the bat, one thing that I totally forgot is the increased power gain on this path. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna mess around and I'm just waiting for that power gain buff to come up, because I don't want to hit him too much because I am running suicides, so the damage will look kind of like normal, but we just want to see what the damage is from the big power steal, okay? So here we got it up, we have our buff, and let's take a look at that lifesteal. Let's take a look at what it's doing. That's some pretty nice numbers, man. So in one special 2, he's down to 60%. Like I said, I forgot about the increased power gain there. So we're just going to pop a revive and jump right back in. No big deal at all. Same thing here. I just want to kind of try and just play chicken with him a little bit and just wait for that power gain buff to come right back so we can test out that lifesteal a little bit more. Just because, you know, we don't want the health to be too influenced by regular attacks. We really want to see how the lifesteal does. Not too concerned here about that power sting. We're going to toss off the special 2 anyway. Now, as you can see, we're jumping right back up in health, man. Our lifesteal is doing really good, and also at the same time, that just completely drains Superior Iron Man. Now, at the same time, we're also running suicides and we have willpower on, so the healing from the willpower on the power sting and also from the poison, well, that's doing quite good for us. But yeah, dudes, like, Doctor Strange got through that Superior Iron Man really well in about 2 or 3 special 2s. So that's very nice. Here, there is a Rhino. I wasn't initially going to do this Rhino, but I figured since we're here, why not jump right back in and just see how he does with class as advantage. And he does pretty much the same. I'm going to play chicken with him just like I was with Iron Man there. Just decks out of his medium attacks when he dashes in. No big deal at all. Just gotta wait for one more cycle here, and then we're gonna be good to go. He was being really nice and just staying back for me, making it very easy. And just in time, we're gonna jump in here, get some of that lifesteal. Boom. Very nice. And of course, once again, I forgot all about that increased power gain. But no big deal. We were just messing around, trying to see what that lifesteal was gonna do on Gimme. And honestly, dude, it was pretty cool, man. It was cool to see that. It was cool to see another decent option for that path, because that path, it could be kind of annoying if you don't have the proper counter. So, like, my verdict on Doctor Strange here, man, is that, like, honestly, I was very impressed with him at rank 2, and one thing I've been saying since I messed around in the beta is that if I could get this guy naturally duped, well, I would take him up. I really would. I'd really like to take him up to rank 2 because I feel like he doesn't perform like this at rank 1. His lifesteal is not this good at rank 1, and his armor breaks are not that potent at rank 1, and the weakness is not that important at rank 1. So like, honestly, dude, I'm feeling like I might take this guy up. Like, next time I have like a lot of resources and overflow, he might get the nod, dude. Honestly, even unduped. When it comes to like defense, he's a fantastic defender lately on flow, especially if he's at a high sig. So like, if you happen to have a 5-star and you pull him a couple times from the featured crystal, he's a great champion to take up, specifically for flow defense, and also just to mess around with a little bit. So like, I feel like Doctor Strange went from being the most overpowered champion in the entire game to being like one of the most underrated, dude, because clearly he did really good here, man. He was just completely shredding through an entire 6.2 lane by himself, and he was doing pretty alright in 6.4 as well. One of the biggest issues in Act 6 is that the chip damage is just so high, but that lifesteal makes it negligible, you know what I mean? So like, I feel like I spent this whole video talking about the lifesteal, but in my eyes, that's pretty much what this video was mostly about. It was really just to show off that insane lifesteal, my dude. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and drop your boy a like. Comment what you think about Doctor Strange at rank 2 in the comment section below, and tell me if you think I should take my Doctor Strange up to rank 2 on the main server. Let me know what you think, and subscribe if you want to see some more content coming to you very soon. I'll be seeing you around.